is elected members to external organisations, elected member appointments to external organisations. Now, I was absent for any discussion. Were there any changes to be made to this? Or any names to be added?
So the waste management, there was some discussion around that, and we heard from staff that there was no urgency to do that today, because we referred to next year.
Okay.
So we agreed to do that.
Yes.
Many of the others were the incumbents. Did anybody take any notes down from that earlier meeting?
Yes, either Chris or Adair did. No? Chris.
Well, there was an issue with the
Museum Trust Board, whether we wanted 3 councillors and we appoint another one, which has currently been the way, or 4 councillors.
Did you want an external one or have 4 councillors?
I don't know. What's the time frame for that?
It's fairly urgent, because it's one of the ones that we have to do within 3 months.
That's one of the ones that we must do.
There was a recommendation that came through from the, not from the board, but from the chief executive as to a potential alternative non-councillor.
Yeah.
Which was former chief executive CCHL.
Bob.
Yeah.
But there are 4
But-
councillors that want to be on it.
There are 4 councillors that want to be on it?
There are 4 councillors that want to be, but we did have some discussion about whether one should be, whether we should have one external appointment, and 4 were going to agree between themselves who would and who wouldn't.
I would prefer to stick with the external appointment too. I think it brings another perspective to the board, quite frankly. I don't know how David feels about that.
Eh? Okay, yeah. Well, we need a process for the external appointment. I mean, CCHL have just done an entire set of considerations for appointments on our behalf, and I wonder whether they might actually, if we, well, I mean, I'm trying to think of a process. If we could nominate the 3 councillors that are agreed, and delegate the decision on an appointment, say to the mayor and the deputy mayor, in consultation with the chief executive and with CCHL. Yep. For the one external. Is that all right? So if we put agree to appoint, and what are the 3 councillors?
Well, I'm happy to stay on.
Pauline Cotter.
I'm on there at the moment, probably the longest serving member on
David East and Anne Galloway. Agree to appoint councillors Cotter, East and Galloway, and delegate the decision to appoint the external member to the mayor, deputy mayor, in consultation with the chief executives of council and CCHL. Or should it be in consultation with the chief executive and the chair of CCHL? Yeah. Because I just know that they've been through a whole series of people that they've interviewed, and I think it would be relatively easy to find someone who would fit the bill. To the museum. It's the, sorry.
Yeah. Museum Trust.
The Museum Trust. I mean, I'm only doing this because it's an urgent appointment, so. And the rest of the ones that aren't agreed can wait?
So we went through the list of all of the others. So most of them are able to be done today.
Okay, let's make sure that we've got them all captured.
So Mayor's Welfare Trust was Councillor Buck. Public Art Advisory Group.
Wait. Mayor's Welfare Fund Trust, Councillor Buck suggested that we also include Councillor Livingston.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and Councillor Livingston.
Public Art Advisory Group, we decided to defer.
Yeah.
Christchurch Agency for Energy continued to be Councillors Cotter and Livingstone.
Yep,
Keep Christchurch Beautiful, Councillor Cotter.
yep,
Museum Trust Board, we've just done.
yep.
Safer Christchurch, Anne Galloway was the name in the mix there.
Yep, you have to become a champion. Yep, good.
The Riccarton Island Community Safety Working Party, there was some discussion around that one. And Jamie, you were happy to continue. Jimmy, you'd indicated that you weren't, so it may be that it could be Councillor Goff and a community board member to be appointed by the relevant community board.
Yep. I'm just looking at the councillor for Riccarton.
Yeah.
Do you want to be on the Riccarton Island Community Safety Working Party?
No, but one of the community board members was desperate to
Okay.
Do we just, can we just appoint Helen Broughton directly from here? I'd be quite comfortable with that.
Yep.
Okay, so Helen Broughton and Jamie Goff. The Canterbury Neighbourhood Support District Committee, I think that Councillor East wanted to remain, yep. And we've left the water appointments. What about the Water Management Committee Selection Working Group?
I'm happy to pick that up.
You're happy to pick
And
that up?
I'm happy to go on it as well.
Okay.
I'm certainly happy to step back
That's the
from that.
selection part.
Yeah, and David indicated that he is quite happy to step back as well. So, councillors Cotter and Clearwater. Te Waihora Co-Governance Group, I'm very happy for Councillor Cotter to remain the alternate. That means that she actually goes to the meetings. Central Plains Joint Water Committee, remaining with the Eastern Cotter. Yep. Canterbury Waste Management, is that the other ones we've deferred, right? Regional Transport. Now, we've since discovered that I can't have an alternate
Correct.
because it's a joint committee under the Local Government Act, which is very annoying. But I think in the meantime, can I be appointed to it? And at some point I will step back.
I'm absolutely fine that you be appointed.
Thank you. You can come with me though. You're allowed to be there.
As a backup.
I might need your advice. But no, there's a very good reason for that. The new chair of ECAN has asked that the mayors put their names forward for that committee on the basis that they really develop the funding bid, as it were, for the whole of the Canterbury region for roading, which goes up against the national roading program, and I think they wanted the weight of the mayors sitting behind the bid. I know that I'm sensitive about that matter, but there you go. Yeah. Summit Road Protection Society, I know that Councillor Scandrett's very happy to remain there, and we'll just leave it to the local community board to make the call on that. Public Transport Joint Committee we've done, Urban Development we've done, Civil Defence Emergency Management Group, did we do that last time? I think we did, didn't we? Or did we?
Does that include communities as well? Because a few community groups have expressed an interest to get more involved in civil defence issues.
No, this is the Civil Defence Emergency Management Group.
Okay, so
it's the region. It's the region, it's not the city. Right. It's the region. So, but I agree that this is a legal joint committee under the Act, but I agree that how communities get involved from here on in is
And I'd very much like
vital.
to see that happen and
Yeah.
the structure around that.
And we've got the Avon Heathcote Estuary Ihurtai Trust is Councillor Livingston. Riccarton Bush Trust, Councillor Chen. Rod Donald Banks Peninsula Trust, Councillor Turner. Kate Shepherd Memorial Award Trust, I'm told that hand has gone up there with Sarah Templeton. RNZAF Museum Trust, Councillor Chen, continue. Maclean Institute, Councillor Livingston.
Yeah, I'd like to extract myself from that if I can. I've been there a long time, and I think it's
It's
time
in
for
Fendleton, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Why aren't you on it, Jamie?
No, we got a replica on it, didn't we?
Eh? No, it's the Maclean Institute.
Councillor Manji?
It's
So you're actually keen. You're happy to. Yeah, but look, if it's the whole retirement village that's
Holly Lee.
Yeah, but there's it's built around the Maclean Institute. You know the
Alan McLean.
Maclean. Yeah,
McLean's mansion, is it?
Yeah.
Which they sold
but
off.
it's not the mansion. It's
No, it's the retirement village.
It's the retirement village.
Holly Lee, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be the Presbyterian minister rep by virtue of the will, and then I thought I'd continue because of this, but I think I'm past my use-by date on that trust. I think
Okay.
someone else needs
All right. So Jamie Goff, Alton
Yeah.
Bradley Park board. Now we're quite happy to leave that with the community board.
So the community board to appoint 3.
Right.
And then the 4th one's a staff member. John Mackey's on there at the
Yeah,
moment.
okay.
And community board appoint 3 plus 1 staff member.
Yes.
We got invited to the opening of the tea house, and I think I'm the only councillor that went, but I just thought it'd be really good to maybe organise a tour out there. I am concerned that that we just make sure that we do have the right governance there. I mean, there's no criticism of it, but it just seemed to me that it's an amazing asset, and we probably haven't got as close a relationship, I think, that as we should. So
Yeah.
and I think through the appointments process, it may be that we can identify what some of the gaps are and look at some appointments that would, really help them. So I don't know if there's a time sensitivity to this, but I would like to get more information about what would be the best way of giving them support from council.
Delegating to the community board?
Well, because if they just appoint community board members, it may not be addressing.
No, the community board are
the
intending
issue.
appointing a couple
So-
of community board members and 1 external member. But Alton Bradley Park, again, is governed by an Act of Parliament.
Yeah.
So the...
So it's a bit like the museum, right?
yeah, so
So-
the
Well,
appointments
no,
to
it's
the board are
not
governed by
like
that
the
same
museum
thing.
at all, in the sense
Well,
that
it doesn't
it's
get a remit, but
the museum's got a major reconstruction to be thinking about.
well, if you think that can be achieved through the community board, but do we delegate to the community board to make the appointment, or
We can. We already delegate 2, and the question is do we delegate 3? We've actually never had a councillor on there, well, not in the 3 years that I've been here.
no, it's cool.
We didn't have a councillor on there last time. It's John Mackey and 3 others.
Yeah, that's right. And 2 of the others last time were community members rather than community
But
board members.
look,
Very
Yarna's
engaged
raising a
community
good point,
members.
which is that we appoint people to things and then we don't have a reporting back mechanism. So
It's not even that. Like, if you think about the issues with the museum some years ago, we went to a more focused, in terms of, instead of appointing like all elected reps, we actually said, oh, there's a skill set that's required,
Yep.
and so we identified the process to get the best person to provide that skill set to what that board needed. And I was just keen that we also have the ability to do that. But I don't know what the timeframe is around the community board making those appointments, but maybe we can just get some information back from our staff member who's on it as to how it's working.
Yep, so the
and
minutes
what
of that
the
body
gaps
are
would be.
reported to the Banks Peninsula Community Board. Every time they have a meeting,
Yeah.
the minutes are reported to the Community Board. I believe there's a good level of oversight, and I believe the way that the appointments have been done in the past have been really effective. And that's the reason why the Community Board are asking for the ability to appoint that 3rd person so that we get the right people as our appointments on that board.
yeah. So I would quite like to, I mean, in the spirit of the, you know, the devolution of decision making that we've pretty much signed up for this term, I'd like to accept that. But I also would like to take up what Yanni's saying, which is we do need to have a mechanism for a better understanding of the roles of the governance in each of these organisations, you know, and not to send people off into the ether and have nothing come back. So we'll work up a mechanism for ensuring that happens, which may include
Leanne, in this case, if they're reporting to the community board, that could come back via a chair's report.
Yeah,
in this
it could
case.
do, but it also could come back here as part of a full annual report, just a simple statement from each of the representatives, you know, with assistance from staff, that just make sure that each year we're getting some feedback from the organisations themselves.
And they were really keen to have us through for a tour, if not for that, not quite
Yep.
good to go through and understand
Yep.
of the
Yep.
recent history.
Yep, well, maybe we could tie it in with a Littleton Port Day or something. And then the Canterbury Sports Foundation, Councillor East, you've been on that. Do you want to remain there? Does anyone else want to go on that one? Mike Davidson. Oh, it says 2 councillors or 1 councillor and 1 staff member. So unless there's a staff member that should be there.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I'd leave it to the 2 of you then. Councillors East and Davidson.
yeah.
All right, so that's the
Sister cities.
sister city committees.
Councillor Davidson would like to be on the China one
Okay.
as well.
Well, hang on. We can't. How are we going to organise this? Because
No more than 2.
can we leave the sister city with 1? It's not urgent. We can do that one in January. I'd like to leave it because I'd like to have a conversation with people about what the different roles are in terms of the relationships this year. But give us some thought about it. I don't think that there's room for people to have more than 1 committee. So anyway, so if you can all give it some thought about what your priorities are. And, you know, it might well be that we'll get the chairs of all of the sister city committees in and have a conversation with councillors about their work programs and what they do, because some actually require a lot more effort and consistent involvement than others do. The Christchurch committee doesn't. Christchurch committee doesn't do as much as, for example, the Christchurch China. Actually, it's the Christchurch China Sister Cities Committee. It's not a city committee, it's a cities committee, because we've got 2 sister city relationships in that respect. All right, so now we haven't got anyone moving this, have we? So I will move it, seconded by Andrew. I'll put that motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Thank you.